Welcome back to the podcast, video cast, whatever we call this. My name is Darson Grantham. I'm a real estate agent and investor here in Des Moines, Iowa.
And Jared Jhusmann here, president of the Catalyst team, part of KB Commercial Realty, apartment specialist in the state of Iowa, multifamily apartments. And for anybody out there watching, we are still looking for a name for this.
Oh yeah, we did not do any brainstorming. I didn't, did you?
No, not at all.
Did you put Heather on it?
No, we'll have to figure this out one of these days here. Or still looking for names and fun ideas here of whatever we're going to call this thing. Maybe when we figure out our theme a little more, we'll get that a little bit more coordinated. We're still, I think we just talk and we'll figure out maybe themes more as we go. But yeah, anybody out there still watching, if you have any ideas for good names for podcasts or any creativity out there, happy to field ideas.
Are you still hiring? Did you hire?
We are still hiring.
Yes.
If you are watching, if you've been tuning in, we at the Catalyst team are looking to hire an analyst position. We are going some interviews right now. We did hire a VA last week, and we hired also another assistant, so we are growing.
Woo!
Things are going good.
How stressful is that?
Stressful for what?
Hiring.
Wasn't stressful for me at all. My team took care of it all.
Yes.
So for me, it's not stressful at all. It's just going through the process here. But this ties back into something you and I always have a theme on, so I want to always ties back. The reason we're going through hiring process right now is, I think, same for you. We're trying to add more staff, add more resources so we can ultimately help you guys, the clients, sellers, buyers, advisors, whoever you guys are out there in the world, make more money owning real estate. And not just making more money in terms of buying and selling, of owning, operating, whatever it may be, apartments, houses, just making more money and having a better quality business. So we're trying to add more resources on our team so we can better serve you guys, the client.
Yeah, I'm not hiring for a while.
You're not hiring for a while?
I've got staffers. I've got a couple admins that are licensed. It's going to take a significant jump in business for me to hire anymore. I just when we do hire, it'll be more VA, like video editing stuff that won't likely be in-house.
This is actually a really interesting topic here as we kind of talk about some themes real quick for anybody watching. May get cut, may not. But for anybody out there, we just hired a VA ourselves last week. And so as we go through, I can maybe talk about some of the nuances and the good parts of that, good or bad parts about that. But what I want to talk about is a little bit is that don't think whatever you do is, you cannot outsource it. I mean, we hired a VA company, give you an example, 20 hours a week, part-time, every month, $800. So 80 hours a month of work a month at $10 an hour. And we literally hired a company called Cyberbackers, and they're going to find them and train them and then work with them to make sure we have the right fit. And if they're not, they will take care of firing and helping us get that. So for anybody,
so you hired a company to find a VA?
And they actually will basically be the intermediary that runs the whole thing. Yep. And it's their job to help train them on all of our systems, our Command, our RailNext, all of our systems internally. And then if that person's not working, then they will help us find a new replacement for that person.
Is that the company the Market Center uses or used in the past?
One of them, yeah. Okay. There's multiple versions there. Yeah. Cyberbacker is actually a national company that has franchisees, same as a McDonald's would or Arby's would. Cyberbacker is a national company, they have that. But again, anybody watching out there, you can hire these VAs at very affordable rates who can take care of remedial tasks, and don't feel bad. Like, these people love it because they're making great money wherever they're located for doing what they want to do. So if anybody's out there saying, I really hate doing data entry or hate doing this or that, look into VA, especially when you're looking at, apartments or houses, whatever it may be. You can find someone to help with that. Yeah. If you hate paperwork anymore, this kind of ties back, I think, just in general, like, be creative in today's world. There's so many opportunities out there.
I would even share, it's tough to not know what you don't know, or, you don't know what you don't know, right? So explain your business to someone that is not in your business and ask them, where can I be more efficient, right?
Right.
Explain to them what you're doing, explain to them your process, explain to them your goals, right? And a good business person, whether they're in the industry completely different or the same one, they'll give you a good idea of, okay, I see some inefficiencies here. And you might already know about those inefficiencies, but it might trigger something where you're like, okay, that person sees that as even more glaring than I saw it. So can I outsource it? Can I leverage it? VA? And we kind of talked about leverage a couple episodes ago. And yeah.
The other thing I would say on this whole note, I think whether you're looking to bring on leverage, to hire a VA, to invest in real estate anyway too, is be okay with failing a couple times or just being a learning process. So advice we give a lot, or I give a lot as well, when you buy your first apartment complex, your first house, be okay with breaking even or just losing money. If it's your first one, like you need to be okay with that because you need to figure out how to learn first. So I guess for a reason, if you're looking to hire leverage, whether it be in your business or as a VA or anything, be okay with failing. I went through one VA, one assistant before I got my good assistant. It was my third time before I even got a good assistant. And we'll see if the VA works or not. We'll stay up to date. But be willing, I think, to fail a few times. Don't just say I tried it once and it didn't work. I mean, maybe give it a few more times before it really kicks in. And then I love your point there too. I was having this conversation on the last podcast I did last week as well, is be willing to look at other businesses and see how you can learn from those businesses and apply it to your own. I had a billionaire one time speak at an event I was at. He is the owner of Priceline, founder of Priceline. I can't remember his name right now. But he always said that Richard Branson, one of the most famous billionaires in the world, he always wants to learn something new and something different every day because he finds how that will apply to his own business. And I mean, stupid things like, what's a giraffe eat or something? Like, I mean, he'll find a way to make that apply to something he's already doing. But he's always curious. And he's looking at other industries and other businesses to figure out how it works. So for anybody playing the real estate game, that's why we're talking so bit, look to software companies, look to YouTubers, look to Instagram people, look to whatever it may be. I mean, much hate him, look to Grant Cardone, look what he's doing. If you look at Grant Cardone's business model, it's brilliant what he's doing to build things out. We can go into that later.
I agree. Smart dude. Annoying as shit.
You have to look at, be able to collectively look at those other things and see how you can apply them to your own business. Yeah. So for me out there, like just be willing to take a step back and look at your own business from a different set of eyes.
Yep. Cool. Okay, so we kind of got on that. That was a long intro, and we're gonna get into local markets. And after we do local markets, we're gonna talk about what is it? We're gonna talk about
listings.
Listings, right? So
the process,
the pros and cons of off market, on market, what agents typically do. I shouldn't say typically, what agents can do, can't do in the residential versus commercial world. If we can squeeze that all in 20 minutes.
I will say on that point locally here, I said someone yesterday sent me a text on this asking the same question. I said, what's the local cap rate right now for Des Moines for the markets? And we're expecting in a minute now the Fed to come out and raise interest rates half point. We're expecting it right now. I'm already hearing rates at 4.75, 4.85, half point increase. We're talking 5.2s, 5.5s potentially coming out very soon. This is important for a reason. As of yesterday, I saw 3 different deals that come across my desk, all listed, and they were A and B class properties, sometimes C, and I was seeing 5.25, 5.5 cap rates on A class apartments, and we're seeing 6.25, 6.5 on some B and C class stuff.
There's a point difference.
Yeah.
Right?
So literally, we're talking the point where we have seen cap rates almost not move at all in the face of interest rates going up. For Des Moines market, for our market right now, for apartments, cap rates have moved minusculely compared to the interest rates right now. Now, there's 2 reasons behind that. I think, one, I still think the market's lagging behind in the pricing. Second, though, I just released our rental survey market, and we saw a 9.6% increase in rents in the last 6 months on most owners' apartments. Most owners are saying they're seeing 5% on lease renewals and 10% on brand new leases in terms of getting the rent increase. So they're getting a little less on renewals, but 10% on brand new leases signed, and or 9.6 actually to be exact. So what we're seeing is what we talked about actually a few months ago, ironically, or a couple weeks ago, is that at least in the apartment market, we're seeing rents rise, and that is still keeping the cap rates where they're at. Because people are saying, I'm buying this at a low cap rate. Yes, 5.25, 5.15, 5.5. Yes, rates are at 5.25 right now, but we expect rents to go up. So that's what's fueling the apartment market right now for locally for buyers.
Yep.
And houses.
I mean, I talked to one property manager, one of the biggest property managers in town. I didn't talk to him. I talked to one of his clients, which was one of my clients. He actually said rents are flat. No increases right now.
Really?
I don't know where that comes from because I don't see that. Everywhere I'm seeing, whether it's properties that are listed with their current rents are, newly rented properties, everyone is having at least 10% rent increase. My personal properties that I'm renewing leases on are going to go up 20%, and they were under market a fair amount, but I'm completely comfortable with that. So I don't know.
I think there's a question to be begged there, though. If he said no rental increase, I will say this is very hyper local. I have been seeing the downtown market for Des Moines and the Ames market. We're seeing very low rent increases in those markets because of some vacancy issues as well, the flight to the suburbs, and then Ames was kind of overbuilt for a while. Yeah. We have low student population in the Ames, Iowa State market. Someone will kill me for that one out there.
Go
Make that
Hawks.
mistake. Yeah, go Hawkeyes. Woohoo. Anyway, but there are some subcategories where we're not seeing a lot of rental growth. So maybe he just had.
I don't know.
Apartment?
I would like to talk to him individually, and I'm going to have him on the YouTube channel here shortly.
And maybe he had one of those. Maybe he was also one of those guys that has a. Maybe he was already above market already a little bit slightly.
That's true.
Why.
Yeah, that's very true.
Maybe they were already being aggressive. I don't know, but I don't know. For us, that's what we're seeing. What are we seeing for pricing for houses right now? I mean,
So the
how's things happening?
Yeah, so the units sold are going to go down. So currently, pending 2021 sales, same time last year is down 10 to 25%. I can't remember the exact number. It's a significant number. So what that tells you is when it's pending means it's under contract. So closed sales in June, the headline will read housing market unit sales slump in June or in second quarter. It will absolutely happen. It's going to because we know pending sales are down from last year.
So I'm just going to make an example here so I make sure I understand right because I don't understand your market at all for residential. So you're saying in 2021 from January to June there was 1,000 houses sold. And in 2022 from January to June we're going to see 800 units sold. You're going to see a 20% drop. That's what you're saying, correct?
That's the brass tacks of it. Yep.
Okay. Why? Is it rates?
I don't know. I have no idea. There's no answer. There's so many variables. There isn't an answer. Rates go up, yes. You have to think of you put yourself in a seller's point of view, and you're usually, if you're selling right now, it's because you have to. It's not because you're moving up. If you were going to move up, you would have already moved up. It's just plain and simple. So you're giving up your 3% mortgage to have a 4.5%, 5.5% right interest rate, and so you're not moving up to that. Your next level house right now. If you're having to sell. That'd be my answer. So what that isn't a telltale sign of is the housing market prices slump, right?
Okay.
So just because units go down, actually the sale price is likely going to continue. I don't see any reason why that because of the supply and demand.
So prices are staying high. Yeah. But the velocity is going down. A number of units sold.
Yep. Which is keeping the price high, even though interest rates.
Because the supply demand issue, right? I mean, you have less supply for sale, so it's keeping the demand.
Yep.
The demand's still there. The price is high.
Yeah. That's how I look at it. Again, no crystal ball. It's my favorite thing to say because we just watch it daily, and we watch people that say everyone needs to buy gold, and you watch people that say the world is doing great and everyone should keep buying and planning on appreciation.
Well, actually, the world's flat, so we know that right now.
I am a conspiracy theorist, but that is not one I follow.
But no, that's something we always talk about too. Is that we just at the end of the day are giving our opinions, our advice, but the market's changing daily. One of the best advice I ever got given me was focus on the
solution, not the problem.
Solution on the problem. Focus on the windshield, not the rearview mirror, etc. So locally though, that's what we're seeing the market. It sounds like though. So housing prices going up. Looks like slowdown in sales inventory. Again, multifamily, we're still seeing pretty aggressive pricing models out there. Especially, I will say right now, if anybody out there holds an A-class asset, there was a couple properties. I think you might have seen as well that was listed in Norwalk, some suburban areas, A-class, built in 2000, product type, late 1990s. There's been so many offers on that product type. I mean, I've had plenty of buyers just drilling over that kind of thing. So if anybody out there
at what cap rate
watches, we're talking 5.1s, 5.2s, and I know because there are people that some of the buyers were asking me my thoughts on the deal in the market just yesterday, actually. But anybody out there is watching. If you own A-class units, upgraded or new, built from 1995 to 2005-10 in the Ankeny, Urbandale, Waukee, Norwalk, Altoona markets, Grimes, whatever it may be. You're sitting on gold right now, just so you know that. That means much to you or not, maybe nothing. But we have a ton of buyers looking for that product type right now, which is keeping their cap rates low, despite interest rates. So just keep that in mind for anybody out there. Interest rates are not affecting cap rates as much as we might hope.
Yep. So if you own one of those properties, how can you take advantage of it? Of the increased value, right?
So
this
ties really perfectly, I think, into what we were going to talk about here, which is the listing process kind of thing, and what do you do? So there's different ways to do it, at least in commercial, and I'm going to talk.
Let's just do commercial because we don't have that much time.
Okay.
I do have a hard 1 o'clock stop, so let's just do commercial. On market. What does that mean?
Yeah. So when you have commercial property, you have an apartment complex, you have a house, even. And this really ties in the investment world in general. But you have a couple options. One, prices are high, you can sell. Or you can refinance. It's always remember, you can always refinance. Don't forget that. Or pull out lines of credit. Never forget refinance lines of credit.
Yes.
And lines of credit, by the way, are always good to have and you don't actually have the debt on it. One of my favorite things is line of credit, LOC. And use that to fix your property up, get your rents increased. By the way, never forget that, because you still own the asset, and now you can utilize that equity. So that's a key. And then you can also do is refinance, more long-term, whatever. But if you do want to sell a property, there are 3 usual methods for selling a property for apartments and houses as well. One of the common ones is a pocket deal. We all use it. It's kind of frowned upon in residential, but in commercial, we all talk about it.
It's not frowned upon. It's technically illegal.
Technically illegal. Yeah, a pocket deal is, a pocket deal is where you just, an agent has it in their pocket and they know about it, they might shop it, task their buyers. And a lot of times it's the top 5. It's been commonly referred to as the top 5. For us, the Catalyst team, it's our retainer list and our exclusive list. Just very honestly, if you want to see off-market pocket deals, you need to be a current client of ours, which is our retainer list, or pay us for that, or you need to be on our exclusive list to see deals off-market, pocket deals. Pocket deals are off-market. There's usually a theory, if you're buying off-market, you're getting a better deal. That's usually the theory. Now, having done 61% of my deals last year off-market, I can say some were deals, some were not.
Yeah.
Some were at market rate. Some were priced for exactly what they did. A few of them, there were some slight benefits, maybe a 3 to 5% valuation.
And we can get into this too, but you're just talking price, right? It's like
just on straight price.
Right?
Yeah, straight on price. Yep. So, again, the theory is always do pocket deals, and again, because that's what gets the buyer a better deal. And there is some of that, not as much as you might think. The key is, when you think about this as a seller standpoint, as a buyer, you want pocket deals because you're getting access to them first. And that means you have less competition, so you're more likely to have a better deal. However, if you've got a good agent or a good seller on their hands, they're going to know the market because information is prevalent nowadays as well. So remember that as well. As a seller, if you're going to go a pocket route, just understand that agent, whoever you're working with, is probably only shop it past 5 people. And at the end of the day, the best way to get value is have many eyes looking at it, which ties into the next case, which we know as well as a listing. Listing, you get many eyes on that property, and you are more likely to get your price or the price out of it. Now, the interesting part about listings now, with how competitive the market's been, there's 2 types of listings actually, and this kind of ties into the third. You can do a listing where it's out there to the market, it's a price, and first come, first serve. What's happening a lot now is we're saying, here's our price, and we're gonna do showings on these days, and we're gonna do a call for offers on this date. And that's when we're gonna compile all the offers and kind of get competition, competitive juices flowing, and we'll review all offers on this date and time, because it's so competitive right now in the market. And that kind of ties into the reserve price met, the auction style format we're seeing. They both work. One's a listing with a call for offers date. A reserve price met is where you don't put a price on it and you call for offers date, which is more like an auction format. But either way, those are kind of the 3 ways to do it. Is either pocket, where it's off market. Again, you go to full listing, and then you go to potentially a call for offers, or a call for offers and reserve price met, which is essentially an auction. Hopefully that's understandable. Also, if you're listening to property, understand in commercial, the commission structures are variable as always, and this ties really well into is that commissions are variable on both sides. So not every seller's agent will cooperate with buyer's agent in commercial, or not every agent will send it out to the entire market. There are some agents who will shop it internally to their buyers first, even when they have the listing, or they will not post it to all the sites first because they're looking to double end that commission.
Double end means you're the buyer and the seller agent, and so you keep the entire
commission and essentially try to make an extra whatever point fee is on it.
Yep. I see that a lot. Being a residential agent, I'm not always on all of the commercial agent mailing list, and I'll have clients send me an email that say, hey, did you see this was for sale? And I'm like, no, where did you find it? And they said, I got an email because I went to Joe Schmo's website and signed up for all his listings.
Yep.
And so it's literally the only place it's found is on his website.
Yep.
So if you are looking for if you're a buyer in that market, you have to do your due diligence to get on the mailing list, because even if that buyer came to you and said, hey, I want to hire you, Jared, I'll be your exclusive, are you going to be able to see all of that? You're going to get the emails.
Some we do. So we do work heavily as much as possible to get on every agent's list as well as the Catalyst team. So we see all of the competitors, and I'm just going to be honest with the names here, but JLL, CBRE, Marks & Mello Chap, those are the 3 that typically don't like to send out to the mass market. Colliers as well, as in our market a little bit as well, a little bit Berkadia in our market. We do our best to get on those lists and see those things. We don't always, but we do.
Even if you're on the list, do you send it out to the buyers, your buyers list?
We send it out to our current clients list, our retainers list, and our exclusive list. So that way we hopefully are compiling information. That's our job, is compiling information that we're helping them see every deal out there. than having to have them get on every list. Now, for anybody else that's not on our list, that's either non-exclusive or on our list, that's your job, take it on everybody else's list, and you have to do that work yourself. We try to do that work for you.
Yep.
Make it easy. But yes, it's really hard to get that done. It's just we're a very opaque market in commercial, and there's a lot of nuances to it. Some of the benefits of being off market though or pocket for owners is not everybody's going to know you're selling the building, which can be really nice sometimes. Especially in a small market like ours, you might not want anybody to know, especially if you have a bad NOI or you're not doing a good job managing it. You don't want to show your dirty laundry. It might be good to have a pocket so that everybody knows what's going on. Sometimes you even have LLCs sold as well, so which that really does not trigger anything, so it's really quiet. You'll see those happen a lot, so not everyone knows even it's sold, nor the assessor, nor Polk.
I was going to say that can have a significant impact on your taxes or lack thereof.
The interesting part of that though is if you do buy an LLC, understand you're also going to inherit two things.
Yes.
One, their basis, so you might get the tax benefits of that. And second, you also inherit all of their liability and their risk. So if that LLC ever got sued or has a lawsuit against them, you inherit that liability and risk. So two sides of that coin. You might save a bunch of money on taxes and keep it really quiet. You sold. You might also inherit a lower tax basis and potentially a lot of liability. So just weigh that situation out.
Yes.
But those are some of the ways you can sell a property. Again, residential is a little different. You usually can hold stuff for 3 days.
We'll get into it different. It's so nuanced and we can get into it.
But I mean, at the end of the day, again, that's some of the things you can think about. Again, this is typically a pocket, actual full listing or reserve price auction are kind of a synonymous term.
What's the buyer? What do the buyers like better?
Buyers, actually, there's been a lot of studies on this. Actually, a lot of buyers have been tending to like, of course, off-market pocket because they feel like they're getting a deal. It's a psychological thing as well. In my experience, locally, a lot of buyers tend to hate the reserve price met. They don't like not having price on it. I don't know why. I think it's just kind of the nature of our market being a little bit older population who buying these things. It's more commonly done in the bigger markets. But most people tend to like either off-market or a reserve or exact listing price. I can say confidently, us at the Catalyst team, we have a few clients who have come to us and said we like working with you because most of our deals are done off market. As I said, we have our retainer list and our exclusive list, and most of the time when through our prospecting marketing efforts, when we find a deal, we send it to those two lists first, and one of them does tend to buy it. And just to be very transparent here, we usually charge less commission in that scenario because it's less effort, less marketing, and we can double side the transaction, just to be very honest, transparent with you guys. That's our goal. So we do a lot of stuff off market. Our buyers tend to like it, so do our sellers. That's kind of our niche right now. But again, if you, as a seller, you understand you won't always get your best price in that scenario. You may not. You just need to take that risk. With the way the pricing model has been in the last couple years, you could still sell for a little discount, something like a pretty healthy profit most days.
I mean, the thing about price is you have more eyeballs. Yes, you're going to have more offers. You're going to have more shit to deal with, more terrible offers, more things to weed through, more showings. It's like, yes, a price discount could happen off market. Most of the time does of some capacity. But it all comes down to the time that you spend on the property as the owner. Right. I mean, what do you want? What are you willing to deal with?
Right. And in all honesty, most of the time, at least for us as a Catalyst team as well, those off-market deals, those are qualified buyers who are already buying in the market, or we have qualified them as agents as well. So you're more likely to have someone who's going to potentially close one deal without all of the continually falling apart deals, or they're retrading or renegotiating. There are a lot of people out there who, and I'm just being honest, know how to talk the talk, and they act like they can buy the Sears Tower or Willis Tower, whatever the hell it is nowadays, and they own a house. And they know how to talk the talk, and they will go through the whole steps and waste a lot of time.
Well, there's a lot of good training out there on how to buy properties. Like a lot of good training. YouTube free training, courses, gurus. Like you can learn exactly how to put offers in and make them look good. I mean, exactly. We could get that into a whole different deal of in the residential market. There's a lot of people putting cash offers in on listings that are actually hard money loans. And I'm like, the hard money loan is a bank. They have to do an appraisal. They have to make sure it meets qualifications. It's not a cash offer, but kind of technically you can put it as a cash offer. And agents are doing it. So as a listing agent, you have to see through that. Or if you're a buying agent and you're putting the cash offer on, you have to explain, yes, this is cash offer, but it's hard money. These are the requirements. It's cash with an appraisal contingency. So,
and it's funny you say that, actually, because these are things that we as agents see every day that as an owner you may or may not see if you don't experience this. This is why you might want to hire an agent to work for you, is because of there's just little nuances you learn. And I know for me as well as an agent, and I know we need to get wrapping up here, but as an agent, I can usually talk to someone and pretty quickly tell whether they're going to be a hard money lender buyer.
Yep.
Are they serious? Are they not? You get a feel for this when you do it every day, all day, of are these buyers legitimate or not, just from the verbiage they use, the sentences they use, how they structure things. And that's a whole other that's an hours long podcast on those things. So anyway, though, we got to kind of wrap up here, guys. As always, Jared Husmann here, president of the Catalyst Team, part of KD Commercial. You can just find us by Googling Catalyst Team, KATALYST, and then TEAM.com, or Google me, Jared Husmann. I pop all over the place. Happy to always reach out, talk commercial real estate, apartments, or any other thing you have.
Yeah, and I'm, again, Darson Grantham, Keller Williams, real estate agent here, locally working with clients that are single family home, buying, selling, up to, I'd say, under $2 million deal is kind of my sweet spot. You can email me, information's below in this YouTube or in the show notes of the podcast. Okay, and then until next time, thank you very much.